Once upon a time, there was a fox and a cat who were discussing multiple ways to save themselves from the dogs who were their common hunters. The fox, who was so full of himself, started boasting about how clever and intelligent he was. "Why, I know at least 100 tricks to get away from our mutual enemies, the dogs," she said. Listening to this, the cat felt insecure and inferior to herself, and confessed that she only knows one trick to save herself from the dogs, the hunters. "I know only one trick to get away from dogs," said the cat. "You should teach me some of yours." "Well, maybe someday, when I have the time, I may teach you a few of the simpler ones," replied the fox in a serious voice. Just when they were in conversation with each other, they heard a pack of dogs who were barking at a distance. Slowly the barking grew louder and louder as the dogs started approaching them. They came very close to the fox and the cat. Seeing that the cat with just one trick she knew climbed up the tree, which was out of reach of any dog. She then saw the fox, who was actually boasting about the 100 ways he knew to defend himself from the dogs, and got confused as to which trick to use. She called down to the fox, asking, "Which one of your 100 tricks are you going to use?" But the poor fox sat down under the tree, thinking about which trick to use to protect him. Before he could make up his mind, the dogs arrived. They fell upon the fox and tore him to pieces. The morale of the fable compiled by Aesop is, "It is better to have one plan that you have tried than to have hundreds of plans that you have not tried at all." The story tells us about the importance of being a master of one art, rather than being the jack of all trades. The plot starts with a fox who brags about knowing hundreds of tricks to escape dog hunters. But the cat only knew one trick, and so on. Listening to the fox and his 100 tricks to save themselves from the dogs, she started feeling inferior and asked the fox to teach her the tricks. But as soon as the dogs appeared in a herd, he got confused and couldn't decide on what trick to use, while the cat, with just one trick of survival, quickly climbed up the tree. Finally, the dogs hunt him down, and the end result was a disaster for the fox. The fox and the cat fable is a mixture of Eastern and Western analogues involving different animals that address the difference between the multiple resourceful expediencies and one master strategy.